Look at this can. 10 seconds ago, I asked a strong, successful 62-year-old man backstage to crush it in his right hand. He couldn't do it. His knuckles went white, his arm shook, but the metal didn't buckle. That man ran a marathon at 50. He still mows his own lawn, and yet his grip strength has declined so silently that he didn't notice until today. Here is the truth no one in this room is brave enough to say out loud. You are not just getting old, you are disappearing. By the time a man turns 60, he has lost up to 30% of his muscle mass. By 70, that number jumps to 50%. But here is the scandal. Most of you will never feel a dramatic snap or break. You will simply wake up one day unable to open a jar, get off the toilet without using your arms, or pick up your grandchild. Let me tell you something that might sting, but it needs to be said. You are confusing motion with progress. You tell me you stay active. You walk the dog twice a day. You spend Saturday morning pushing a lawn mower. You might even do a little gardening or carry your own golf bag for 9 holes, and you believe, genuinely believe, that this counts as staying strong. It does not. Here is the brutal physiology lesson your body has been trying to teach you for the last decade. Activity is not resistance. Walking is wonderful for your heart, your mood, and your joints. It does almost nothing for your muscle mass. Raking leaves burns calories, but it does not signal your quadriceps or your glutes to grow stronger. Your muscles are lazy in the most efficient way possible. They will only retain the fibers that you force to work against a meaningful load. If you never ask a muscle to push, pull, or lift something heavier than a coffee mug, your brain assumes that muscle is dead weight. So it recycles it. It breaks down those precious protein strands and sends them off as fuel for other organs. You become weaker not because you are old, but because you stopped giving your body a reason to stay strong. Think about the difference between a casual stroll and a loaded squat. During a stroll, your leg muscles are working at maybe 20 to 30% of their maximum capacity. That is not a challenge. It is a gentle reminder that you still have legs. During a squat with a weighted vest or a pair of dumbbells, your muscles hit 70, 80, even 90% of their capacity. That is a signal. That is an emergency broadcast to your nervous system that says, we need to keep this tissue. In fact, we need to build a little more just in case. Without that signal, the decay is silent but certain. You lose about 1% of your muscle each year after age 60. That does not sound like much until you do the math. By 70, that is 10%. By 75, you have lost the functional reserve that allows you to catch yourself when you trip, to lift a suitcase into an overhead bin, to pull yourself out of a chair without using your armrests like a pair of crutches. So what is the fix? You need to add resistance, actual, measurable resistance to your week. 2 days, that is all I am asking, not 7 days. Not a gym membership you will use twice and abandon. 2 20-minute sessions. Pick a movement that makes you grunt by the 8th repetition. That grunt is not a sign of weakness. It is the sound of your muscles waking up. It can be as simple as bodyweight squats, holding a gallon of water in each hand. It can be step-ups onto a low stool. It can be push-ups against a kitchen counter if the floor is too hard. The specific exercise does not matter. What matters is that your muscle says, that was hard, and your brain says, we better prepare for that to happen again. That conversation between your muscles and your nervous system is the only thing standing between you and a future where you cannot lift your own grandchild. Stop treating your daily walk as a victory lap for strength. It is not. It is just the warm-up. The real work begins when you pick up something heavy and say, I am not done yet. So let me bring this home. You walked in here today carrying a story you may not have even told yourself out loud. You have noticed the little betrayals, the grunt when you stand up from a low couch, the way you suddenly look for a handrail on stairs that never needed one before, the quiet dread when you drop something on the floor and have to decide whether it is worth the effort to bend down and get it. You told yourself it is just age. You told yourself everyone slows down, but now you know the truth. Those moments are not the weather of getting older. They are the evidence of a choice you have been making without realizing it. The choice to accept movement without resistance. The choice to eat breakfast like a bird and sleep like a worried man. The choice to protect your ego instead of your legs. That stops today, not because I told you to, but because you finally see that the path you are on leads to only one destination, a body that cannot keep up with the life you still want to live. You have the 6 keys now. They are not complicated, and they do not require a personal trainer, a supplement budget, or a time machine back to your 30-year-old body. 2 days a week of honest resistance. Protein at every meal, starting with breakfast. The big 3 movements: squat, hinge, push. Done badly at first, then better, then automatically. Movement through your noisy joints, not away from them. Sleep treated like the medicine it is. And the courage to start so small that your own pride laughs at you, then to keep going until that laughter turns into respect. Every single one of those keys fits your life right now exactly as it is. You do not need to join a gym. You do not need to run a marathon. You need to decide that the man who cannot get off the toilet is not you. Not yet, and not ever if you start this week. Here is what the research actually says, and I want you to feel the weight of it. A 65-year-old man who begins a simple twice-weekly strength program regains measurable muscle mass within 8 weeks. His grip strength improves by 20%, his walking speed increases, his risk of falling drops by nearly half. Those are not miracle numbers. Those are the results of showing up, being boringly consistent, and refusing to believe the lie that decline is inevitable. Your muscles have memory, your nerves have not forgotten how to fire. The only thing missing is the signal. You have been waiting for a sign, for permission, for the perfect moment when your knees stop aching and your schedule clears up. That moment does not exist. It never has. The signal has to come from you, and it has to come today. Not because I am dramatic, but because every week you wait, you lose a little more ground that you will have to fight twice as hard to win back. So here is your final instruction. When you leave this room, do not make a plan. Do not buy a book. Do not research the perfect workout split. Stand up right now. Use your legs, not your hands, and walk to the nearest wall. Lean against it. Lower yourself into a squat as far as you can without pain, then push back up. That is repetition number 1. Tomorrow, do 2. The day after, add a can of beans to each hand. That is how strength returns. Not in a heroic moment, but in 1,000 small, ugly, unglamorous decisions that no one will applaud until you stand up at your granddaughter's wedding without wobbling. You are over 60. That means you have survived things that would have broken weaker men. You have wisdom, scars, and a life still worth being strong for. Do not trade that for a comfortable chair and an excuse. Your body is listening. Give it the order. Stand up, start ugly, and take back what is yours. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. I know that sitting through a conversation about strength, aging, and the hard truths of muscle loss is not the easiest way to spend an hour. But you showed up, you listened, and more importantly, you are still here at the end, which tells me you care about the man in the mirror more than your comfort. That alone puts you ahead of 90% of men your age. If you are watching this as a recording or following along with the uploaded commands, remember this. The speech ends, but the work begins the moment you close this window. Do not let the momentum fade. Do not save the video to a playlist called Watch Later and never return. Take one single action today, one squat, one protein shake, one honest look at your sleep habits. That is all I ask. Goodbye for now, but not forever. Your body will send you signals every single day: aches, stiffness, fatigue. Listen to them differently now. They are not enemies, they are data, and you now have the tools to interpret that data and act. I believe you are capable of more than you have settled for. Go prove that to yourself. Thank you again for your attention, your willingness to be uncomfortable, and your decision to stop losing ground. Stay strong, stay moving, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.